Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Little bit. Too much. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Hare Krishna devotees, please accept my humble obeisances of Srila Prabhupada. Welcome devotees to morning Bhagavatam class. We are going to be hearing from His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. So we'll be hearing from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 3, verse 27. And I request devotees to please increase the volume on your end because the recording can sometimes be a little drowned, drowning down. So, and we request devotees to at least have one takeaway that we can share with each other, share our realizations, our reflections, what we have learned, something new that we've heard before. We can always learn from each other. So without further delay, we'll start the class and hope that we can get at least one takeaway from some of us online this morning. Hare Krishna.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunya Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunya Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunya Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Rangana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Rangana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Yashodanandana Brajajanarandana Yashodanandana Brajajanarandana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Vandabihari Jaya Radha Madhava Vandabihari Jaya Svat Paramahamsa Parivrajavacharya Satarasada Saman Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada ki jai Ananda Koti Vaishnavindra ki jai Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki jai Shri Shri Radha Krishna Go Gopinath Sam Kund Radha Kund Giri Govardhan ki jai Vrindavan Dham ki jai Navadvip Dham ki jai Swami Bhaktivinoda ki jai. All glories to the Asura. All glories to the Asura. All glories to the Asura. Thank you very much.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 3, Text 27. Rishayo,
Rishayo,
Manavo,
Manavo,
Deva,
Deva,
Manu,
Manu,
Putra,
Putra,
Mohojasa,
Mahojasa,
Kala,
Kala,
Sardve,
Sarve,
Harer,
Harer,
Eva,
Eva,
Sa,
Sa,
Praja,
Praja,
Potaya,
Potaya,
Smita,
Smita,
Rishayo Manavo Deva,
Rishayo Manavo Deva,
Manuputra Mohojasa,
Manuputra Mohojasa,
Kalak Sardve Harer Eva,
Kalak Sardve Harer Eva,
Saprajapatayak Smita,
Saprajapatayak Smita,
Rishayo Manavo Deva,
Rishayo Manavo Deva,
Manuputra Mohojasa,
Manuputra Mohojasa,
Kalak Sardve Harer Eva,
Kalak Sardve Harer Eva,
Saprajapatayak Smita,
Saprajapatayak Smita,
Rishayo Manavo Deva,
Rishayo Manavo Deva,
Manuputra Mohojasa,
Manudeva Mohojasa,
Kalak Sardve Harer Eva,
Kalak Sardve Harer Eva,
Saprajapayatak Smita,
Saprajapayatak Smita,
Rishayo Manavo Deva,
Rishayo Manavo Deva,
Manuputra Manojasa,
Manuputra Mohojasa,
Kalak Sardve Harer Eva,
Kalak Sardve Harer Eva,
Prajapata
Prajapatayo Smita.
Saprajapayatak Smita,
Rishayo Manavo Deva,
Rishayo Manavo Deva,
Manuputra Mahajasa,
Manudeva Mohojasa,
Kalak Sardve Harer Eva,
Kalak Sardve Harer Eva,
Saprajapataya Smrita,
Saprajapayatak Smita,
Rishayo Manavo Deva,
Rishayo Manavo Deva,
Manuputra Mahojasa,
Manuputra Mohojasa,
Kala Sarve Harer Eva,
Kalak Sardve Harer Eva,
Prajapatya Smita,
Saprajapayatak Smita,
Rishayo Manavo Deva,
Deva
Vishayo Mano Deva
Manuputra Mahajasu
Manuputra Mahajasa
Kala Sarve Hare Reva
Kala Sarve Hare Reva
Sa Prajapataya Smritaha
Sa Prajapataya Smritaha
Rishayo Manavo Deva
Vishayo Mano Deva
Manuputra Mahojasaha
Manuputra Mahajasa
Kala Sarve Hare Reva
Kala Sarve Hare Reva
Sa Prajapataya Smitaha
Sa Prajapataya Smritaha
Ready?
Vishayo Mano Deva Manuputra Mahajasa Kala Sarve Hare Reva Sa Prajapataya Smritaha Vishayo Mano Deva Manuputra Mahajasa Kala Sarve Hare Reva Sa Prajapataya Smritaha.
That's all. What meaning?
Rishaya,
Vishaya,
all the sages.
all the sages.
Manava, all the manus. Deva, all the demigods. Manuputra,
Manuputra,
all the descendants of Manu.
all the descendants of Manu.
Mahojasa,
Mahajasa,
very powerful.
very powerful.
Kolak,
Kala,
portion of the plenary portion.
portion of the plenary portion.
Sarve,
Sarve,
all collectively.
all collectively.
Hare,
Hare,
of the Lord.
the Lord.
Eva,
Eva,
certainly.
certainly.
Saprajapataya,
Saprajapataya,
along with the Prajapatis.
along with the Japatis.
Smrita,
Smrita,
are known.
are known.
Translation: all the rishis, manus, demigods, and descendants of Manu, who are especially powerful, are plenary portions or portions of the plenary portions of the Lord. This also includes the Prajapatis.
So, Prajapati, the beginning, there was only Lord Brahma. The whole planetary system was to be populated. Therefore, first of all Brahma, then the 7 rishis, then the Kumaras, then Rudras. In this way, Manu's, then Manu's son, his son, his son. In this way, what is that sound? The whole universe is populated. It is not the rascal Darwin's theory that there was no human being. It came out of a stone, the life. The first is the most intelligent person, Lord Brahma. So, they are called Prajapati. Praja means generation. Pati means master, husband. So all these Prajapatis, as we learn from Bhagavad Gita, Manu ikha kavi bravid, Vivassan manovipraho. Vivassan, sun god, he spoke to his son Manu, Vaivasata Manu, imang vivassati yugam praktavan aham abhayam. Krishna said, first of all I told to Vivassan, the sun god, and then he described, he handed over the knowledge to his son, Vivassan, Vaivasata Manu. This is the age of Vaivasvata Manu. So, in one day there are 14 Manus in one day of Brahma. So, in 1 month, how many? 220. In this way, in 1 year, there are so many Manus in Brahma. Some 5,000 Manus in 1 year. So many Manus and his sons are coming. Manu, from Manu, the word man has come. Manushya. The man, this word, is from Manu. We are all sons of Manu. There are 2 descendants of Manu. 2 descendants, Kshatriya family, one from the sun god and one from the moon god. 2 families, Kshatriyas, royal order. So Manu is from the sun, and the descendants, Surya Vangsha, they are from Manu. Manu Ikhaku Vibravit. Manu, his son was Ikhaku, Maharaj Ikhaku, king. He was the king of this planet, the original forefather of Lord Ramchandra's dynasty. Maharaj, Lord Ramchandra appeared in the family of Manu, and similarly Surya Vangsha, similarly Lord Krishna also appeared in Jaduvansha. So these families, dynasties are very, very old. According to Vedic system, any family, Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya, those who are higher caste, they must give at least 7 generations account, otherwise he is not a respectable family. 7 generations. His father, his father, his father, his father, his father, like that. When there is marriage, then there is check, corroboration. The bride's party and the bride's groom party, they should narrate their 7th generation. If the 7th, within the 7th generation, it what is called collide, becomes the one man, then there will be no marriage, because it becomes the same family. One cannot marry in the same family. He must pick up another family. Otherwise one could marry his own sister. No, that is not possible. These family descendants, still there is Gotra. Gotra means in which family one is coming. Everyone must say his Gotra and family title. Gotra means the Guru, disciplic succession. Achyuta Gotra. We, Vaishnava, our Gotra is Achyuta Gotra, Krishna. Krishna's name is Achyuta. Because we give up our other family Gotra. We accept. Actually, originally, everyone is coming from Krishna. From Krishna, the Karunanam Sai Vishnu, from Karunanam Sai Vishnu, Garbhodak Sai Vishnu, from Garbhodak Sai Vishnu, Brahma, from Brahma, the sages, the Manus. In this way, everyone is descendant from Krishna. And Krishna confirms also in the Bhagavad Gita, Sarva Jonishu Kaunteya Sambhavanti Murtaya Tasang Mahajjani Brahma Aham Bijapada. I am the origin of seed-giving Father. Trees, plants, aquatics, by their karma, they have to accept different dress, but as spirit soul, everyone is part and parcel of Krishna. That is also confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita. Mama ivangsa jiva bhuta. So, it is said here that Manu putra Mahajasa. Of course, those who are Prajapatis, they are very famous. Naturally, they are the original. But all of them are Kala, Sarvi Harir Eva. Kala. Kala means just like part of plenary expansion of Krishna. Then the expansion of the plenary expansion, then again expansion. In this way, the first expansion is called Prakash. Just like first expansion is Baladev from Krishna. These things are described in teachings of Lord Chaitanya. You must read. The first expansion is Baladev. The next expansion is from Baladev, Sankarshan. From Sankarshan, Vasudeva, Aniruddha, Pradyumna, like that. So, the first expansion is called Prakash. Then there are divisions, Prabhav, Vaibhav. In this way, as you have learned from previous verses, many thousands of expansions. We are also expansion, but we are separated expansion. Living entities. Sangsha, Bibhinnangsha. Sangsha, just like this my hand is my part and parcel of my body. Direct expansion. And from the hand there are so many hairs. They are also from the hand. That's my head. And from the head there are so many hairs. So they are also expansion. So they are separated expansion. I can cut my hair, but I cannot cut my throat. So, there are expansions, sangsha, personal expansion, and separated expansion. The personal expansions are called Vishnu Tattva. Baladev, just like Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, his personal expansion is Nityananda Prabhu and Advaita Prabhu. And Shivasadi, they are separated expansion. Although they are associates, but Shivas, Jiva Tattva, and Nityananda Prabhu and Advaita Prabhu, Vishnu Tattva. And Gadadhar is Shakti Tattva. So in this way, God is person and His personal expansions are innumerable, unlimited. The Vishnu Tattva, they are worshipable. And Adhar Tattva, Shakti Tattva and Jiva Tattva, they are meant for service. But all together taken, there is one. That is absolute truth. So there are many different philosophical views of the absolute truth, how he is one with the energies and the separated expansion. So here it is explained that Kala Sarve Harir Eva. Everyone is expansion from Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But those who are prominent, they are called Prajapatis. Prajapatis means directly expanding. These Kumaras, they were also offered to become Prajapati, but they refused their father's request. So we are not going to marry and beget children. So Brahma was angry. So when he was angry, then Lord Shiva, Rudra, from his eyes generated. In her circle, the generation can be produced from any part of the body. But we cannot understand. We simply know one part where from the generation comes. No. In her circle, there's like many living entities came out from Brahma's nostril, eyes, ear. Just like Lord Brahma himself came out from the navel of Vishnu. This requires a specific power. Not that we have got some stereotyped ideas. Therefore we sometimes find a difficulty to understand the description of the Vedas and the Puranas. They do not believe. As soon as we say that there was a lotus flower sprouted from the navel of Lord Vishnu, and on that lotus flower Brahma generated. They call it a story. No, these are not stories, these are facts. But our philosophy is doctor's, frog's philosophy. You see, I can simply understand that 3 feet water in the well, that's all. If there is beyond that a description of Atlantic Ocean, it is beyond my conception. I therefore refuse. This is not. This is the so-called scientist, philosopher. They have got a teeny brain which they cannot accommodate so many big things, therefore they disbelieve. And therefore they are Nastic. But every description in the Vedic literature, that fact, that is called astika. To have staunch faith. Our process is therefore, whenever we speak something, we have to quote some Vedic version. Then it is corroborated, it is fact. Janmadasya Vedas, Vedanta says the absolute truth is that which is the origin, source of everything. There must be something, original source. Otherwise, how things are coming? This conviction means faith. Krishna says, Sarvadharman parittajamamekam saranam vaja. So those who will argue, why shall I surrender to Krishna? But one who will accept, he becomes benefited. So Vedic knowledge should be accepted as it is. Don't try to comment. If you go on commenting with your teeny brain, then you will never be able to achieve the success. That is the process. Be the one. I have given you several times this example, that in the Vedas it is said the cow dung is pure, although it is the stool of an animal. We accept, yes, it is pure. And actually you find it is pure. If you analyze, you will find all antiseptic properties. Now how in stool? Stool is septic, septic tank, whereas stool. But this stool is practical, you can see. But where from we get this information? From the Vedas. The knowledge received from the Vedas, there is no mistake, there is no illusion, it is perfect. Just like here, we have read the passage, 4 lakhs of years, 400,000 of years after from this time, there will be incarnation of Kalki. His father's name should be Vishnu Joshi. The place where he will appear, there is Sambhal. Everything is stated there. Now, 400, thousands of years it will have. Lord Buddha appeared, and 2,500 years after the Bhagavad was written. That came a fact. So, if we take the Vedic statement, Vedic literature statement, as fact, then our knowledge is perfect. You don't require to research. There is no need. It is perfect knowledge. And very easy. Krishna says that imang vivassate yogam praktapana hamabhyam. So Krishna said this. Arjuna was playing just like ordinary man, although he is not ordinary man, just to give us lessons. He was asking questions, just like ordinary man. So when Krishna said that I spoke this Bhagavad Gita, science of God or philosophy, to Vibhushan, the sun god, he clarified the matter. He said, Arjuna said, my dear Krishna, you are my contemporary of the same age, so how can I believe that you spoke Bhagavad Gita some 400 millions of years ago to sun god? How can I believe? So Krishna answered, yes, you are also present, but you have forgotten. I remember. That is the difference between God and human living in. God knows everything, past, present, future. We do not know. We are teeny. We cannot be equal with God at any stage of life. Even Arjuna, who is constant company of Krishna, he is also forgetting. Krishna replied, both you and me had many, many births. We appeared, but you have forgotten. I remember. That is the difference. So the difference between God and ordinary living entity must be there. Anyone who is claiming as the Supreme Lord or God is a blasphemer, is a rascal, is a cheater. So you should not be influenced by such rascals. God is always great. There is no equal, no greater. That is called great. Nobody can be equal with God. And nobody can be greater than God. Everyone under God. Asamardha. Therefore, God's another name is Asamardha. A means none. Sama means equal. Urdha means greater. Asamardha. So everyone is emanation from God, but nobody is equal with God. But the Vishnu Tattva, they are the same. There is no difference between Krishna and Ramchandra, Narayan, Vishnu, because they are Vishnu Tattva. Baladev, they are equally powerful. But Jiva Tattva, we living entities, although we are part and parcel of God, we are not equally powerful. That is called the philosophy of Achinta Bhedabhed Tattva, simultaneously one and different. Simultaneously one and different. Just like in Bible also, Jesus Christ is claimed as one with God, but at the same time different. As Son, he is different. As representative of God, he is one. That is the philosophy, perfect philosophy. All living entities, anything within this manifestation, even this whole world is one with God. Idang hi vishwam bhagavan ivetara. Narad Muni said to Vyasdeva, idang hi vishwam, this whole universe is God. Idang hi vishwam bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Ivetara. But it appears like different. So, now, according to this formula, idang vishwam bhagavan, then forgetfulness of Bhagavan, forgetfulness of relationship with Bhagavan, Krishna, is materialism. Actually, everything is Bhagavan. But when we forget the relationship of this world and Bhagavan, Krishna, that is materialism. Just like we are offering some foodstuff to Krishna. So Krishna is eating matter? No. Krishna cannot eat matter, he is spirit. Then how you are offering the same rice and dal to Krishna, which is also being cooked in the hotel? The thing is that here is this sense that this rice or dal is given by Krishna. There is remembrance of Krishna, therefore it is spiritual. And they are in the hotel, they do not know Krishna. There it is matter. That is the difference between matter and spirit. Actually, everything is emanation from Krishna. So there cannot be anything matter. Idang hi vishwam bhagavan. But the forgetfulness, the material world is, what is this material world? So the material world is everyone is forgetting Krishna. Their only business is to forget Krishna. Therefore it is material. But if the Krishna consciousness is there, the material, no more material world. Just like this temple. This temple is spiritual, Vaikuntha. It is not Los Angeles. Don't think like that. It is Vaikuntha. Because here every second the remembrance of Krishna is there. Therefore it is not Los Angeles. Or anyone who remembers Krishna always 24 hours, he is living in Vaikuntha. He is not in the kingdom of Maya. That is required. Satatang chintayantang ma, always thinking of me. In the Bhagavad Gita you will find satatang chintayantang ma. So, if you keep this practice, always thinking of Krishna, then you are not in the material world. You are always in the spiritual world. For practical example, just like there are foreign embassies in foreign countries, so long they are within the embassy, they are not living in the foreign country. That is the law. Suppose I belong to some foreign embassy, I have done something criminal. So, the American government cannot arrest me from the embassy. When I come out, he can arrest. So, ships also, when they are on the port of a foreign country, so on the ship also, the foreign police force cannot arrest anyone. These are the etiquette law. So if it is possible in ordinary dealings, why not possible spiritually? And that's a fact. If you keep always yourself in Krishna consciousness, you do not belong to this material world. Then actually you are part and parcel of Krishna, your spiritual identity. Thank you.
So we just heard a very wonderful lecture by Srila Prabhupada, as always, as usual. And, as Srila Prabhupada was giving this class, and I've heard discussions about the expansions, the first, the second, the third, the different tattvas. But for some reason, well, not for some reason, but whenever we hear from Srila Prabhupada, it's so simplified and, so straightforward. And it's like, it just falls into place. It's like, kindergarten language. And I was really appreciating how Srila Prabhupada makes it so easy for us. And as Kali Yuga is progressing with, short of memory or lack of memory or whatever you want to call it, but just hearing Srila Prabhupada over and over again and how simple he makes it, it's going to help this Kali Yuga mind and memory to remember things. So I really was appreciating that, how Srila Prabhupada makes it so simple. So we'd like to open up for devotees to share their reflections, their realizations, what they have taken from this class, at least one point, what they have learned, what really struck out for them. Please unmute yourself and share your thoughts. You can raise your hand or you can jump right in. That would be very nice. I can definitely start off with my realization. And I really like the point where Srila Prabhupada says, and I want to go back, it's I think like few paragraphs before this, where Srila Prabhupada says, just like this temple is spiritual, Vaikuntha. It is not Los Angeles. Don't think like that. And then it is Vaikuntha because here every second the remembrance of Krishna is there. Therefore, it is not Los Angeles. So I was really appreciating how Srila Prabhupada is always reminding us that the temple may be in a city, maybe in a country, maybe in a state, but we do not, we do not associate ourselves to that city or state or country, but we associate that temple to the spiritual world. And, so I was really appreciating how Srila Prabhupada is telling us and reminding us that it's so important that we change our consciousness to think that when we walk into the temple building, that is the spiritual world. It's not that when we are in Hungary or in Vrindavan or in any of the temples in India that, oh my God, that is the best place. And when we come back, this is not that. No, Srila Prabhupada is saying is even if the temple is in LA, Los Angeles, it is Vaikuntha, it's a spiritual world. So I was really appreciating that point and a very good reminder to all of us that we should develop that thinking and consciousness to reflect the temple that we are serving as the spiritual world and not some temple in some city. So that was one of my takeaways. Would like to ask devotees, if you could please share your takeaways, your thoughts, that'll be very much appreciated. At least one, that would be nice. Go ahead.
Krishna. You said on the basis of all glory to Srila Prabhupada. Yes, a lot of very important points. I was very much appreciative of the descriptions of the Panchatattva from Srila Prabhupada, the expansions, the Vishnu expansions, Advaita, and Lord Nityananda, Vishnu Tattva, and the Gadadhara Shakti Tattva, and Shivas Jiva Tattva. When you hear about the Panchatattva, they also say Shivas is connected with the marginal energy. Marginal energy is where we are, spirit soul that can choose between the material or the spiritual. But he is, so Shivas is that in that category. Mm-hmm. Krishna has covered everything. And then of course there was the talk about the Dr. frog philosophy about the scientists having a hard time believing things from the Vedas, that like the lotus sprang from the navel of Lord Vishnu and Lord Brahma was born there. So Srila Prabhupada is telling us it's beyond their understanding. They don't believe it. This is they don't have, they're tiny brains and who can't process things like that. So he's telling us, Prabhupada is telling us, when we take the Vedic statement as fact that we have perfect knowledge and there's no need for research. As a matter of fact, where we're going to do the research anyway, with these scientists that are, going by the 3-foot well diameter and nothing more than that. They don't know that there's an ocean that exists. So, and also, Srila Prabhupada reminded us that Arjuna was asking questions for our benefit, but he's not an ordinary man. Arjuna is also Narayan. Krishna and Arjuna is Narayan. So, of course, that puts Arjuna up there. But still, for our benefit, Arjuna was made to ask questions so that we can benefit, especially the one that Arjuna said, but we are about the same age, and you say you talked to the sun god some 400 million years ago. And Krishna said, we've taken many births. I remember them, but you do not. So basically telling that the Lord is in a category by himself, asamodva. A means none, sama means equal, modva means greater. So there's none that's equal to or greater than Krishna. So that's some of the things that I picked up from the talk, Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much. Actually, I also really like the point by Srila Prabhupada between Krishna and Arjuna, how Krishna says, we have been here, many of us, I remember, but you don't. So that was really an amazing reminder. What I also really liked is when Srila Prabhupada, I've heard it before, but it's always so nice to hear it again from Srila Prabhupada, where he was saying that, Kalki Avatar, the name of the Father, where he will appear, the name of the town. And I was just, like I said, I've heard it, but just hearing from Srila Prabhupada gives me goosebumps down the spine. So it was really amazing, chills down the spine. So I was really saying, wow, we are so fortunate to have an amazing philosophy that is not hidden and it's not full of surprises, but it's all there, past, present, and future. So I was really appreciating that. Any other points from devotees, any takeaways, at least one message? Yes, Nitya Gopal, go ahead.
Hare Krishna Mataji and all the devotees on the call. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Wonderful
Jai.
class by Srila Prabhupada. Yeah, as you mentioned, when Srila Prabhupada speaks, it's like Veda speaking.
So
it's
true.
Yeah, such a, what do you call such a good or the deep information, but Srila Prabhupada speaks, it comes in a clear and understandable level. That's so nice to hear that from Srila Prabhupada.
So true.
Yeah. So I was taking a point, one of the takeaway for me for this class was Srila Prabhupada was mentioning, if we take a knowledge from Vedic scripture, then that knowledge is perfect. Otherwise, that knowledge is incomplete or imperfect.
Very powerful.
Yeah, that was my takeaway.
Yes, and I'm glad you brought that up, Pro, because that was also one, and I forgot. So thank you for bringing it up. That was a powerful statement by Srila Prabhupada. Absolutely powerful. Thank you for sharing your realization, because it shows how also he said, right, that we should not try to complicate it with our teeny brain.
Correct. Will not be able to understand.
I like how he said with our teeny brain, he said we should just accept it as it is and not try to, water it down with our teeny brain. Just take it and repeat it. Don't, put our own spin to it, as they say in America. But that was a very nice takeaway, Prabhu. Thank you so much for sharing that. Really nice. Very powerful too. Very, very powerful. Thank you.
Yes.
Any other takeaways from devotees? Any last minute, sharing that you have taken from this amazing class by Srila Prabhupada? Just a humble reminder, tomorrow's class is by His Holiness Chandramalai Swami at 7 o'clock. So please do join us at 7 a.m. tomorrow by His Holiness Chandramali Swami. He'll be continuing with the classes. If there are no questions, there are no feedback, we thank you all for sharing your feedback and your reflection and sharing your thoughts with us so we can all learn together. If there isn't, we thank you for joining us. Vanchakrapatibhyascha kripasindabevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Have a wonderful day, devotees.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.